Hey guys, Mike Cricket 113 in the shack on the floor. We got Coax. Coax. We're going to be talking about Coax today. The Coax varieties that I use. I have 3 of them that I use. All of them have PL259 UHF connectors on them, which is you will find on the back of your amateur radio or CB radio or hey, GMRS mobile radio. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. This is what I use personally. This one's a jumper, so that's why it's a short 3-foot run. This one here is usually comes with your magnet mounts, NMO mount antennas. This is RG58. We got RG8X here, and that's about 100 feet or so. And we have a jumper of LMR 400. That's the one people love. So anyway, we're going to talk about what we got here and what we use. All right, let's start with the RG58. This is a 16-foot run jumper, 16-foot jumper RG8 or RG58. It's very narrow. It has a copper braided shield in there, single layer. Maybe a little bit of foam dielectric, which is in between that and the radiating wire inside. These you will find these on magnet mounts, NMO mounts. You'll find little like 18-foot or 13-foot jumpers, and basically RG58 is just good for that. It's good for that. It's good for your GMRS antenna. You'll find it on there. Your ham 2 meter 70 centimeter mag mount antenna, you'll find RG58. It's low loss if you're going to be using 50 feet or more of it, but it's not low when you're only using about 13 to 18 feet of it in the mobile application. I have this in the shack right now because I have it hooked up to a GMRS radio. It's hooked up to my self-built antenna that's out in the attic over the garage. So a 16-foot run on those higher frequencies really isn't going to kill it. So that's what I'm using right now. Nothing wrong with having a short run or having it on your mag mount on your car, or maybe your lip mount for your 102 whip. Nothing wrong with using it. Nothing at all. Next, let's get to the RG8X. RG8X is also braided either aluminum or copper through there with a foam dielectric and your center connector. RG8X is a little thicker, as you can see, more like a pencil compared to the RG58. It's a little thicker. There's less loss in it. Honestly, if you're starting out in the CB hobby or the ham radio hobby and all you can afford is RG8X, or you have to get a Coax, but you can't afford LMR 400, man, the prices have gone up. They have gone up. Hey, this is going to work just fine for 160 meters to 30 megahertz up to 50 megahertz. This is going to work just fine. 100 feet or less, the loss isn't that bad. Equating the power, that's what loss is. How much power is going out of your antenna. You'll get a little radiated loss from your coax always, even with the LMR 400. But you know, RG8X, I recommend it. If you're starting out in the hobby and you need something that's good quality for HF, whether it be CB 11 meter or ham bands, RG8X will get you out on the air and running. I have 100 feet of it here. It's a PVC vinyl on the outside and works just fine. It's just fine. You don't need to spend all the money on LMR 400. 100 feet of that will run you about $170 or more. I'm not even sure what the prices are because I bought mine 100 foot of it back 2 years ago probably. But anyway, let's get to the LMR 400. LMR 400 is a low loss coax, double shielded. There's either a foam dielectric in there, sometimes there's a harder one in there, different consistencies of the dielectric. That's the insulative property that's inside the coax. Also the PL259 is on there. This diameter, a lot thicker. This is more like a Sharpie marker in a way. So it's 0.410 hundredths of an inch, I think, give or take. Don't quote me, but it's close. It's thick. You're going to have low loss with LMR 400. Yes, it's more expensive. Yes, it's also good for VHF and UHF. For higher frequencies, it will be useful for the higher frequencies if you're using 220, 50 megahertz, 2 meters, 70 centimeters. This will be what you can use right out of the block, or out of the gate, I should say. Anyway, so that's what I use here. I have about 125 feet of RG8X on my IMAX 2000 out in the backyard. And then I have, for some weird reason, I have 100 feet of the LMR 400 on my MFJ 1984 Mike Papa end-fed, 40 meter end-fed radio. Someday I want to just replace that with some RG8X, because that would be just fine. And but I'm not going to use this one, because I use this when I go on POTAs or operating in the backyards, because it's easy, light, and easy to coil up. For instance, LMR 400 or 213, not easy to coil up. Very bulky. Can't fit in your rucksack real easy. It can, but it's you want to take something. You want to take RG8X with you if you're going POTA, SOTA, or out operating in your yard or whatever. You want to take RG8X with you. If you need 50 feet, take 50 feet. If you can get away with 20 feet or 25 feet, take 25 feet. Less space in your bag, honestly. You might be able to get away with that. Who knows? But I would use RG8X if you're going to go operate outdoors. So this is Mike Cricket 113. We're talking about the coax that I use here in the shack. Sorry this video is so long, but you get the gist of it. Yeah, so that's what's going on here. Have a good one. Keep learning.